Well, it's the final whistle podcast of the season, and Liverpool, we officially saw it, are crowned champions, and what an atmosphere at Anfield. I think it was breathtaking. I think people will remember it. That is exactly how you do things when you win a league. And a bit of a side note, but I think Napoli did a pretty good job as well in
Yeah.
Serie A. So it's good to see these kind of, iconic teams kind of do it the proper way. And joining me to kind of, this is why we're a little late, because we were enjoying and savoring every moment. And with Ben again. Ben, welcome back.
Yeah, it's good. I can't believe it's the last game week already. Feels like 2 seconds ago we started doing these at the start of the season. So
I know.
yeah, it's all flew over. Yeah, but I've loved this season's been brilliant, hasn't it? So many kind of underdog stories and yeah, obviously winning the league. What a way to finish it.
Yeah, for you, what was the moment where you think, what do you think was the winning factor of Liverpool winning the league?
I don't know. Do you know? I got asked this like, what game was it? And for some reason, my mind always goes back to the Brighton game at Anfield. I think we spoke about it, like a couple of weeks ago, where obviously we were 1-0 down. I don't know whether it's just because I was at that game, and yeah, that Salah goal, just my mind instantly goes to that Salah goal against Brighton. But in terms of a factor, I mean, Salah is probably the standout one. I mean, if you've got a player playing like him, you're always going to have a chance of winning it. But yeah, there's so many. You could pick out every single player, and they've all been amazing.
They do, and they do. And I'm just going to cut you short there. It's me, Everest, saying, have a good stream, Nina and Ben. Can't stay up because it's late. I have a job interview tomorrow. Wish me luck, all the best. Hope you're on the winning side as well. Was that the game where you got caught on Match of the Day?
No, that was Bournemouth when Nunes
So
curled it
famous.
in. Yeah,
I'm
I,
literally with a celebrity right now.
yeah, because they done like the I don't know if you saw when we beat Tottenham and they put out the kind of Premier League winners thing. I'm in that clip, so that's my. I've watched that like 100 times now. I'm literally in it for like half a second, and I look
That's
formless as
awesome.
anything. But
It's
I'll
always the
always
case.
be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You were
my def-
part of it.
yeah, my defense is if Darwin Nunes just curled one in with his weak foot in front of you, what would your face be like? So
It's true. It's very true, actually. For me, you know what the winning deciding factor was, and I'm going to take it back to you and I because we've got to make it all about ourselves. The
yeah,
first game week of like the Premier League, it was we didn't do it. You were away, and I had
yeah,
commitments. So I think that was the winning formula. So I think going forward next season, Eddie's not going to be happy, but I think we should both just make ourselves busy. I actually do think I might have something on that day. We'll double check. It depends what
yeah,
day the Premier League starts.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think there's something going on early August. So I'm going to put it down to you and I missing the first game and Guy Drink allowing me to take over. That's just me personally. But um, we're having some tech issues with Ben. So yeah, it was an iconic scene, and he spoke about the Brighton game there as well. And for me, I think it was more things like that, and also how Arne Slot kind of handled the whole situation about losing to Nottingham Forest as well. And that was a big thing to me because I was like, oh my God, we're on to a winner here. This manager is like, he does not like to lose. And it really, really bothered him. I think the Brighton game was huge. I do agree with that. I also think the Darwin Núñez moment as well, when he scored those 2 goals against Brentford, pinnacle, important. I think that's when I really started believing that, hey, Liverpool could actually do something here. Before it was just like, yeah, we're on top. It's, you were just kind of playing it by ear. We've been there before. But those were my takeaways from that season. Ben, I was just sorry. It's great to have you back. I was just saying that it's a great Brighton moment. But for me, I really liked Arne Slot's attitude when we lost to Nottingham Forest. Like he had a real bee in
Mhm.
his bonnet about it, and that kind of told me that we've got a serious manager here. That like he took it really personal. Another thing was I think Darwin Núñez's goals against Brentford as well. I think that was the moment when I was
Yeah,
like, oh, we're
yeah,
serious now. That was when the wheels in my little brain started turning for that one. But as a whole, I mean, what I loved about today, and it's going to sound something cheesy, but I don't care. But Liverpool get a guard of honour, and I love the fact that Liverpool did it
yeah.
right. And I just thought that was a really, really sweet moment, and I want to see more of that in football.
Yeah, I don't want to kind of. I could be, but I don't think many teams would do that. Um,
Mhm.
it's a very Liverpool thing to do.
Yeah.
I know kind of Liverpool fans, and they get a name for being quite arrogant. But that's just not the case. I don't see it, and we've always been really respectful when there's respect needed to be given, and Palace definitely deserved it. So I'm glad they've done it.
Me too. And you saw the reaction from the supporters as well, and it was like it was well received from all corners. Liverpool fans
Yeah.
really like that as well. So yeah, I want to see more of that. Good sportsmanship, in my opinion. I don't think Palace were expecting it as well. I think they were a bit thrown when they just saw the Liverpool players line up. So overall then, so we've had a chance to kind of take it all in. I know Liverpool won it 5 years ago, but the fans, the interaction, the everything. What did you make of it all? And I just want to get your thoughts on it.
It didn't feel real. I don't know. So often, I think you kind of think it can't live up to your expectations, but beating Tottenham, that was better than you could have imagined, and today was as well. There's not many things in life that are as good as what you expect. I kind of feel you're always a bit underwhelmed when you big something up that much, but yeah, it was really, really special, and I'm glad Trent got a better reception. I wasn't a fan of his brother being on the pitch. I don't think it's the right time for him to be crying in
Yeah.
front of the camera. But it's his family at the end of the day. They're going to be there, and yeah, I'm just glad we can kind of move on from that and just focus on the team because they deserve it more than this whole situation.
I feel like, I mean, I watched the coverage on Sky Sports. I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah,
But for me, I felt like it was a bit of a follow trend. I felt like
yeah,
it was just like he was crying. I feel like those emotions were completely normal and natural, but I just felt like there was just a bit too much of invasion of his privacy. Like, just like there's other players there.
yeah,
Like I just
yeah,
felt it was too much of a heavy focus. I get it because he's leaving, but it was just it's not like he's retired. He's not, like he's moving on. He's done his contract. He's going, and I just felt like, as a supporter, I didn't want to see too much of that. That's just my opinion on it. I'm not like you and I have spoke. We don't abuse him. We don't bash him.
no,
I don't like the way he's done things, but you know what? Move on. I'm indifferent, but I just didn't want to see him everywhere, and that's what I felt like Sky Sports were trying to do with the coverage. Um, some great faces in the crowd. We saw Jurgen Klopp, we saw Steven Gerrard, Jordan Henderson was there as well.
yeah,
Was at Wembley, and then obviously made his way here as well. And obviously the greats like the Kenny Dalglishes and the Ian Rushes. I just felt like it was a very, very star-studded Anfield crowd. I mean, the game wasn't much. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. Liverpool. I want to get your thoughts on this actually. So Liverpool fans are getting really agitated. And we have conceded 9 goals now since we've become Premier League champions. And it is becoming a bit of I don't know, a sticking point with Liverpool supporters. But I just think everyone's in party mode. I don't think it's as deep and as serious as what everyone's making out to be. I feel like, they're mentally switched off. There's no psychological edge. They've won everything. They don't need to go any further. And that's where we are right now. And I feel like too much is being read into it and being made of it. And I think next season we go again. And obviously these players probably want to rest themselves and want to go on holiday as well. But that's just my little takeaway from it. But with regards to the Premier League, I mean, it's been a bit of an interesting final game week in the sense that, Manchester United caused some a last day drama to ruin things for Aston Villa, who feel aggrieved by the referee. Of course, they lost 2-0. They make it to Europa League, missing out on Champions League, which obviously they will be absolutely gutted. Obviously, we know Crystal Palace will be playing Europa League football next year. Spurs will be playing Champions League football despite getting absolutely hammered by Brighton. Man City secured their place in the Champions League with a win over Fulham. And of course, Chelsea have made Champions League football as well with their win and over Nottingham Forest, who will be absolutely good, who get Conference League. Ben, I was just kind of going over some results. I want to get your thoughts on how disappointed will Nottingham Forest be against
No,
Chelsea. I mean, that was a do or die kind of game, and if they'd won, I think they would have got Champions League football. Like, given
yeah.
how everything went, and just that must have been awful for them.
I thought they would have wanted it. I mean, I think they've took 1 point from the last 12, which the way they played for most of the season, they've been more consistent than some of the teams that have ended up above them. I know it sounds stupid to say because obviously over the 38 game season it levels out, but they must be so good. I know European football is still a huge achievement for them, but to be where they were and then to end up where they finished, it's brutal. And Villa as well. the way they had a goal disallowed, can't get my head round it. But yeah, Newcastle deserve to be in there. They've been amazing this season. Chelsea just snuck in, so gotta give them credit, I guess.
Yeah, Man City as well. I mean, speaking of you spoke about Nottingham Forest there, and obviously and Aston Villa. I feel like Emi Martinez, of course, he got sent off, and there's talks that he might be leaving Aston Villa this season. So maybe it was a last ticket to Aston Villa before he leaves. I don't know, but obviously he got sent off. I've not seen the replay in terms of how the nature of the sending off, but yeah, Man
It
United
was
get
definitely a sending off.
the win. Was it definitely a
Yeah,
sending off? Okay, you've seen it.
yeah. Cash tries to play the ball back to him, and Hoyland just gets there first. He just wipes him out. But Unai Emery in his interview got asked whether it was his Martinez's last game, and he said no way.
Oh,
And then got asked if he was staying, and then just said bye and left the interview in classic Unai Emery fashion.
I'm
So I don't know.
kidding.
I was of the impression that he was leaving, but
Yeah,
maybe he's
me
not.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Managers do like to play like mind games, and I
Mm.
do like the fact they give very little away. I'm a big fan of that. I know it's annoying for supporters, but I'm a big fan of that. Ben, who's that? Obviously, you spoke about Nottingham Forest there, who looked really, really improved, and you thought they were going to do some kind of madness. So, given everything, taking everything into consideration, who has been your surprise little package of the season?
It's got to be Forest, I would say.
Forest for you?
Yeah. Well, and Liverpool and Forest. I mean, Forest, I had right down there. I didn't think they'd get relegated. Like I think Jamie Carragher predicted them to go down, but I thought they'd be 15th, 16th. Um, and the way I wasn't a massive fan of Nuno either, but he's
Mm.
kind of proved me wrong as well. Um, Chris Woods, I mean, he could be a surprise package on his own. I mean, he's always been a bit underrated. He's always knew where the goal is, but the amount of goals that he's scored this season has been ridiculous. But yeah, I'd probably say Forest for good surprise. But if we're talking bad surprise, then there's a couple for that.
There is, yeah. You know who I went for? I went for Crystal Palace because remember the start of the
Mm,
season, they looked like they were relegation
yeah,
fodder. They
yeah.
really did, and obviously won the FA Cup. I mean,
I,
nobody at the start of the season would think that, and I think they got the best points tally now as well for them,
yeah,
which is
they've hit 50 points for the first time. I think
yeah.
could be wrong
So
on that, but I think they're about 52 points now.
yeah, so so I would call them my surprise package because I actually think it's probably one of the most wholesome moments that they actually
Yeah,
they won a trophy like that. As a neutral, I just thought that was just and against Man City as well, fantastic stuff. But yeah, they've been my surprise package. I would say Forest with you as well. I think Forest have really, really impressed a lot of people. And I'm going to say to some degree as well, they are a bit hot and cold, but it's because they've been so bad all season under Gary O'Neill. But I think Wolves have quietly
yeah.
started to get better as well. But I'm sticking with Palace. I'm not going on a tangent. Who do you think has been like the most disappointing? I mean, there's been a few teams that will probably look at this season and think, I'm so glad it's over. I think Man City's one of them. I'll be
Yeah,
brutally honest. I also think maybe Arsenal to some degree as well, given the fact the amount of money they spent. You've got Man United in the mix there, Spurs as well. I mean, Spurs won the Europa, so I don't know if they're considered that way. But there are some teams that are probably looking at themselves and thinking, gosh, I'm glad it's over. So who takes the title for you?
I would lean towards Man United. I don't actually know where they finished in the end. I'm guessing they didn't finish 17th because they won today. But even if it's 16th or
15th.
15th,
15th.
that's better than what they looked like a couple of weeks ago. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, to finish 15th, no trophy, obviously getting beat off a really poor Tottenham side in the final. That, by the way, was one of the worst finals I've seen.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, painful to watch. Yeah, I just think I think when you say people wanting the season to be over, I think when the final whistle went today, I think every single Man United fan just took a massive sigh of relief, and I think they'll be wanting to forget about it as soon as possible. But I also think Spurs as well. I know they won the trophy, but it,
They got
there's
spanked today again, didn't they?
yeah, it's such a Spursy thing to do to win a trophy and then get smashed at home. days after, but they might have went on the holidays and been on the beach like we have for the past month. So if there's anyone who can understand that, it's probably us.
But the thing is, though, they are actually. I do think maybe Postecoglou is about to go. I think I think some of those relationships in the dressing room have been fractured somewhat. But if he has got some players, like at least play for him, play for the shirt. You do have something to play for. As for I don't think Liverpool really have anything to play for. You're champions. It's just like, okay, yeah, points tally, I get it. Beating records, I get it. But you're champions. Like your tenure is safe. You can't go beyond that. You've won. The league is completely different. You need to bring in a different psyche for next season. So I think that is actually quite bad on their part. It's only one game. Just go hard.
Yeah, and I mean, professionals at the end of the day should be playing for pride regardless. I know we joke about Liverpool being on the beach, but you can still tell the players really want to win. It's not an attitude problem. It's more. It's not a serious problem. Whereas with Spurs,
problem. That's what it is.
Yeah. But with Spurs, like there is that attitude problem, I think, and I don't know what they'll do with Postecoglou, to be honest. I don't know if he goes, who do they even turn to after that? Because I can't imagine too many people jumping at the opportunity to manage them at the minute.
No, I can't as well. I can't. So obviously we know the three teams, they've been going down for a very, very long time. 3 teams will be coming up. Whilst I'm here, for the one last time, let's look at Southampton's XG. We're gonna have to find a new team next season, Ben, to do this. So you know what, they were drawing against Arsenal. They lost 2-1. So let me look at some of the numbers. All right, then let's have a look. Go on then, Ben. What do you think the XG was?
Well, they scored, so that's a good start. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1.1.
Not far, 0.63.
Must have been a decent goal then. Unless they just had no other shots.
Yeah, 7 shots, 2 on target.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be another team that sigh of relief. Thank God that's over. I think I don't know how they'll do in the Championship, to be honest. I really don't, because obviously Sheffield United were heavily tipped to come up and they've stayed down. And I think Leicester will obviously be up there. I think Southampton and Ipswich could maybe struggle a bit next year. So it'll be interesting, but maybe after the season they've had, maybe they wouldn't mind a couple of seasons down there to just completely reset.
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually glad Sheffield United haven't come up. I feel like I've seen them too many times. I think it's been a real long time since I've seen Sunderland in the Premier League, and I'm actually quite excited about that. Leeds are coming up as well. Let's see what they've got to offer. It's just one of those, isn't it? And Burnley, I think Burnley are coming up as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Sunderland coming back's brilliant for the league.
That's my favourite one. I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
You've got the Townley derby back, which everyone loves, no matter where you're from. I mean, it's going to be a real struggle for them, but one of the best fan bases in the country, and a club of that size should be in the Premier League. So you'd rather see them come up and give it a good go than one of these clubs that kind of come up and just kind of, go straight back down, get the parachute payments, and just yo-yo. But they'll come up and give it a real good go. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Especially with what the club's been through as well, and what the fans have been through in that documentary. I think, the atmosphere is just going to be like a cauldron there, and I think we need more of that. So, yeah, I completely agree with you, Ben. Ben, I think we pretty much spoke about everything. I mean, what has been, I don't know, any final takeaways, any highlight of the season, anything that you kind of want to bring up, just something that kind of sticks with you that you feel like needs to be put out there?
When you say the season, it's just today in the Tottenham game for me. Just them days. Well, we hopefully will see many more of them, but I don't think even them will hit the same as, it's the first time. Not the first time, but the first time in front of fans. And I don't think that feeling will be replicated again. I don't know, next season I really want to win the Champions League as well. I know I'm getting greedy, but I think there's no reason why Liverpool can't have a really good few years now. Obviously, it looks like in the transfer window they think that as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Indeed, fingers crossed. Yeah, I think that's something that I'm looking forward to as well. The transfer window, and I agree with you. The Champions League football. I think Arne Slot touched on it as well, that we were close, even though because we were. If you think about it, we lost to the champions. We took them to, well, I think a potential champion finalist, and we took them all the way to penalties. No one else has done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just unlucky on the day. I just felt like we were a bit. These things happen. Bad tactical subs, but yeah, I think next season. Also, this new format as well. I think it was a bit of an eye opener for a lot of people, because I think we went full on hard in the group stage, and it actually didn't serve us, but it served Barcelona really well. So it's just the look of
and
the
Arsenal.
kind of how things playing out.
Arsenal had such I know they beat Real Madrid, but before that they had such an easy. Even their fixtures in the league phase were easy, and then they got PSV, didn't they, and absolutely smashed them. I think there'll be lessons learned from that next season. I don't think, maybe the first 4 or 5 games, and then you can kind of maybe ease off a little bit. I don't think we'll be seeing 8 full strength lineups. So we'll see.
I did enjoy it though. I did love it.
Oh, it was brilliant. More games. That's what we love as fans. I know the players hate it, but I love the new format, to be fair. Just we were really unfortunate.
Yeah, and you know what I loved as well, Ben? I love the fact that there wasn't this, we've got to play them home and away. It was like, play this team once and be done with it. And I liked that. It just felt very cutthroat.
Yeah. You just play more new teams, because it can get boring. If you're previewing playing Real Madrid at home and then a few weeks later you preview, it's going to be pretty much the same, isn't it? So, yeah, more teams to play, and yeah, I think it's more fun.
I think my highlight actually was, it's not the Premier League highlight, but for me it was beating Real Madrid at Anfield in the manner. Like, that's just a complete side note, a complete sidestep from the Premier League, but I enjoyed that moment a little bit too much. But Ben, I think we've spoke about everything there. Where can people find you on social media? What are you up to? And yeah, just all that good stuff.
Yeah, so Ben Pescott Journal. I've got a few interviews this week. So they'll be going out on EPL Index and Anfield Index, some articles on that. And obviously all sorts of transfer stuff this week. Florian Wirtz, hopefully, Frimpong, all that kind of stuff. It's all over on Anfield Index. So, yeah, just keep an eye out on that.
It is. We're just officially waiting for some kind of announcement now. There's just loads of articles, loads of podcasts, loads of content. So keep your eyes and ears peeled on that. We'll have some podcasts as well. I think we'll be joining some of the contributors on Anfield Index to kind of talk about the season highlights and previews. So guys, do check that out. Keep your eyes open for that and your ears. And thank you so much to everyone who's listened to this podcast. It's been the first season. Hopefully we will get better as well and we improve the show. But thank you so much for being with us and joining us. And we'll be back soon. I think, Ben, we should do one before season for like a little prediction kind of thing or something, and then we've got to hold each other to account. I think we'll have to do one of those.
Yeah, and review them at the end of the season and see me say like Forrester going down like Jamie Carragher or something like that.
I don't think you'll go that left field. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you're a Red, take it all in. But thank you so much. Take care and we'll catch you soon.